One of the fastest players in all of baseball, and certainly a guy you must keep off the base paths if you're going to be successful. Cincinnati coming off a 6-3 homestand. They swept the Houston Astros in their latest series, and like the Brewers, Rock, they had a day off yesterday. I think everybody, especially in the Brewers camp, needed that day off. The Reds got to spend a beautiful day off here in Milwaukee.
Yes, well, it started out not so good a day, but you know, the evening was not bad. But the Reds bullpen should be well rested. You know, yesterday a day off, the day before complete game by Bronson Arroyo. Boy, the Brewers bullpen could use a day off yesterday. I think the one thing that Ken Maka will tell you is that no day off this year has been more needed. I mean, it's one of those things where guys weren't swinging at bats. The team was having a tough time putting together wins, and a day off, you might just come back refreshed.
A little correction, little bouncer. Gamble will handle it, and a good throw for out number one. Now we'll get a good chance to see Matt Gamble once again, his second start on this homestand.
Well, he and Willie Randolph working daily. He was out early today working on some ground balls over to third base, able to handle that one. That one's pretty easy. The thing that is remarkable about Gamble, he might not have the softest hands in the world, but he's got a big time arm over at third base.
And he can make up for a lot with that arm. And I think Willie's point to Matt Gamble, and it's been the same point that Don Money has issued to Gamble the last couple of seasons down in the minor leagues, but go ahead and let it go. Throw the baseball. Don't try to serve it over there. You're at third base. You've got a long throw in just about every scenario, so go ahead and fire away.
If you're going to throw it away, make sure you throw it about 15 rows back in the seat.
That's right.
You don't want to aim it over there. Sometimes when a young player, even a veteran guy, has a little bit too much time to make a throw, they think too much.
0-2 the count quickly on Jerry Hairston Jr. Hairston getting the start at second base for the injured Brandon Phillips. Phillips is due to come back sometime on this road trip and possibly during the series with the Brewers. Phillips, a fractured thumb that he suffered during a game. He was fielding a ground ball. Instead of going on the disabled list, though, Rock, he's going to try to come back from that left thumb. It's actually a hairline fracture, and they feel like it's almost to the point where he can swing the bat and be a contributor once again.
Yeah, so the Reds, have been playing a bit shorthanded, but they really haven't felt the effects of it because they've been playing so well.
Hairston has been filling in at second base. Meanwhile, Ramon Hernandez has stepped into Phillips' shoes in the cleanup spot, separating the two talented left-handed hitters in Votto and Jay Bruce. 1-2. Votto finally healthy once again. Last time the Brewers saw the Reds, he was just missing games because of the flu, and that flu turned into an ear infection.
Yeah, he missed about 12 games. I mean, that thing was pretty serious. Once they diagnosed it, he was able to come back slowly, but once again, the Reds did a nice job filling the void. Joey Votto, Jay Bruce, two of the best left-handed hitters, young left-handed hitters in the National League. They're both similar styles, with Jay Bruce with more power than Votto, but Votto hits for the average.
And two left-handers that are in the lineup every day. They are guys that the Reds pretty much banking their franchise on right now. They lost Adam Dunn last year and Ken Griffey Jr. They lost two big left-handed bats, but they felt comfortable making trades at the end of the year because they had Votto and Bruce to take over the production that was lost with Dunn and Griffey. And the Reds feel like they're a better team now. They're better defensively, and they're certainly putting up the numbers this year. Wow, after a long at-bat, Jerry Hairston delivers with a base hit to right. That was some kind of battle between Hairston and Looper.
Yeah, a lot of split-fingered fastballs that Hairston was able to foul off. Looper finally gave him a fastball away, and Hairston just shot it to right field. Counsell was playing up the middle, expecting those splitters, not figuring that Hairston was going to hit the ball over there, but went with a fastball, did a nice job banging it into right field.
So here is Votto with a man on. Votto at .360 coming in with a batting average. That is second best in the National League. He trails only Beltran. Carlos Beltran is batting .367 with the Mets. So gaudy numbers this time of the year. We're almost into June, and to still be up at .360, impressive, especially when you consider Votto has been playing with some dizziness here lately. It's tough enough to hit big league pitching.
Well, the thing that impresses you about Votto so much is the fact he's got such a good eye at the plate, not afraid to walk. I mean, his on-base percentage incredible for a young hitter. You got to be careful with these two guys. They're first in the National League in on-base percentage, .467. That's pretty good.
And actually has a better batting average against left-handed pitching than he does against right-handers. Both still very good. He hits .354 against right-handers, and he's up over .372 against lefties. So even when you get later in a ball game, Rock, and you're talking about a matchup scenario, Ken Maka, who likes to look at the numbers and the matchups, sometimes throws it out the window with Joey Votto at the plate.
Yeah, and with only one left-hander out in that bullpen, you've got Hernandez between these two lefties. That makes that matchup situation a little bit more difficult. Although left-handers don't seem to bother, as you mentioned, these two guys, these two lefties.
Votto made a run last year at Rookie of the Year, ultimately won by Giovanni Soto of the Cubs. But Votto and Bruce both received votes for the Rookie of the Year honors. Hairston takes off. The pitch is a ball. The throw by Kendall on the money. And Jerry Hairston is wiped out. Kendall got off a good throw to second base and a caught stealing.
Well, finally able to throw somebody out. He's been throwing the baseball very well all season long, but a lot of times base runners are safe on a bang-bang play. Hairston was looking to go that entire at bat. Stopped a couple of times, and Jason able to get him easily at second base. Good throw.
And now Votto pops it up. Playable for J.J. Hardy, and that is the side. So a scoreless inning for Braden Looper, and now the Brewers ready to face Johnny Cueto. Lineup trying to find the right combination here lately. Ball club has lost 5 of their last 6 games, and the Brewers batting order tonight courtesy of Subway. It is Craig Counsell, J.J. Hardy, and Ryan Braun at the top of the order. Middle of the frame has Prince Fielder, Mike Cameron, and Matt Gamble. Check Fielder's numbers in the month of May. Very good so far. And then the bottom 3, Corey Hart, Jason Kendall, And Braden Looper, a Brewers lineup that will face the hard-throwing right-hander Johnny Cueto.
And the Piggly Wiggly scouting report on Johnny Cueto. Live fastball. Most of the strikes that he's going to throw with a fastball are going to be away. He'll come in for effect. Hard slider to right-handers. He'll flip up an occasional changeup to the lefties. And last year he was a thrower. Not the case. He's only 22 years old, so he's still learning how to pitch.
First season in the big leagues last year and burst onto the scene with the Cincinnati Reds. Facing Craig Counsell to lead off. Reds failing to score in the first inning despite a single from Hairston. It was a 3-batter inning for Braden Looper. Numbers on Craig Counsell continue to impress. A batting average of .323. Playing pretty much every day now in the absence of Ricky Weeks. And one out here in the first. Here's how the Reds stack up defensively. The former Brewer, Lance Nixon left, Willie Taveras and Jay Bruce in the outfield as well, with Rosales, Gonzalez, Hairston, and Votto around the horn. Ramon Hernandez, one of Ken Maka's former catchers, doing the catching tonight for Cincinnati.
Yeah, very good defensively, and he's swinging the bat this year. I mean, batting fourth right now. Not sure how long that's going to last, but Hernandez a good one behind home plate.
J.J. Hardy finds a new spot in the batting order. Batting second here tonight. And Hardy lines one to left field. That one is tagged, but right at Lance Nix. And it's out number one. J.J. jumps on it. Nothing to show for it. 2 up and 2 down for Cueto.
After coming back with those back spasms, J.J. had a 3-hit day on Wednesday. So another situation where J.J. had some time off. Remember that mental break that he had early in the season. He came back swinging the bat well. Hang with him to left.
Hardy, the top vote getter in the National League on the first issuance of the All-Star balloting. J.J. Hardy and Ryan Braun both at the top of the list at their positions. Always a great matchup when you see a slugger like Braun, former Rookie of the Year, matching up against one of the best young arms in all of the National League in Johnny Cueto. The Reds are still without Edinson Volquez, the ace of their staff. He is due back Monday, so he will miss this series against Milwaukee. Volquez has been battling back spasms, similar to what J.J. Hardy endured, but Volquez has been on the disabled list.
Pretty good pitching staff in Cincinnati. They've always been known as a team that scores an awful lot of runs. But they have put together a nice pitching staff, particularly starting rotation.
The Brewers will face Aaron Herang tomorrow, and then Micah Owings on Sunday as Braun draws a walk. That's something the Brewers trying to get back to, something they did so well during their hot streak. We mentioned the All-Star leaders at their position. Here you go. Ryan Braun in left field. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop. You got a couple of Cardinals in there, and Molina and Albert Pujols. Soriano is the lone Cub at the top of the list right now, and Beltran and Wright representing the New York Mets. And you would think Chase Utley is a lock for second base. So get out there and vote. We'll be talking to some of the Brewer All-Star hopefuls tomorrow for Brewers Live. Make sure you tune us in.
Well, Brewer fans have certainly stepped up already. I mean, doing a nice job online and here at the ballpark.
Prince Fielder with 2 outs and Braun at first. Well, speaking of the All-Star scenario, Prince Fielder second on the list to Albert Pujols, but he is second on the list in the State Farm Home Run Derby fan poll, which was issued today. And Fielder launches this one way back in right field. Goodbye, Prince Fielder. A 2-run home run. And the Brewers are on the board early tonight against Cincinnati.
No, that day off was needed, wasn't it? Boy, fastball middle in. That's exactly where Hernandez wanted it. Cueto left it over the plate and hit a bomb to right.
Up into the second deck. Fielder goes deep for the 11th time this year. And RBIs number 44 and 45. That'll take him to the top of the National League lead in runs batted in. And just what the Brewers needed, a quick strike. 2-0 Brew Crew on Fielder's 11th the Powerball home run numbers as they stand.
He's had a pretty good month. Had a pretty good month of May, Prince Fielder. I think that's his 8th May homer.
And Fielder takes that top spot over from Raul Ibanez because of that huge May. 28 RBIs in the month of May now for Prince. So not everyone is struggling in the Brewers batting order.
No.
Fielder has had a good month. Cueto does not allow many home runs. So that was a rare sight indeed as Cameron chases a slider.
Only the 6th home run that he's allowed this year. And remember, he pitches half of his games at Great American Ballpark. That's a launching pad there in Cincinnati.
That one will slice into the seats as Votto watches it up there about 6 rows. Well, so Prince now at the top of the league in RBIs and also near the top of the league in walks. Got a tremendous on-base percentage. 2 great young sluggers. Braun the 2-out walk and then Fielder the 2-out 2-run homer.
Well, we talked about it on our broadcast open tonight. Those 2 guys pretty much are the guys that kickstart this offense, and they did a good job in the first inning.
And Cameron down on strikes. So the side retired, but Prince delivers in the first. His 11th of the year. And the Brew Crew on top early tonight, 2-0. Two to nothing, the Brew Crew on top of the Cincinnati Reds as we head to the second inning at Miller Park. Prince Fielder with a 2-run home run with 2 outs in the first inning. And a good start for the Crew tonight, giving Braden Looper some early run support. You heard Ken Maka talking about Braden Looper and comparing his 2 starts against Cincinnati this year. One was very good, one was not so good. And what he's looking for in Braden Looper is to stand tall and pitch down the plane. Whatever that means, Rock.
Yeah, stay on top and get good sink. Finish your delivery.
Just like that, right?
Yeah, that start you're talking about, May 7th at Cincinnati, his shortest start of the year, 3 1/3, gave up 5 runs.
Looper coming off a rough outing his last time out against the Minnesota Twins. But what was encouraging about his last start is that he gave up runs early and then he hung in there and he went 6 innings. Did allow 5 runs, 4 earned against Minnesota. So he kept his club in the ball game and battled through 6 innings. It looked like it was going to be an early exit for Looper that day. Nice play on a comebacker. And 1 out here in the 3rd inning. So you can help raise money for your favorite Brewers players' charities during Brewers Charities bobblehead raffles presented by Fox Sports Wisconsin. Sunday it's Trevor Hoffman bobblehead day. You can visit the Brewers Charities Trevor Hoffman raffle table anytime at Miller Park through the 4th inning. And with every $5 donation, a lucky fan will have a chance to take home unique prizes. Or you can log on to the web at brewers.com/bobble raffle. And we have an advanced copy of the Trevor Hoffman bobblehead standing on top of the Wisconsin cheese. So that's one to keep your eye on.
Yeah, he's a Wisconsin guy now.
There you go.
Very nice.
It's a very stork-like.
Flamingo.
Yeah.
One-legged.
The one-legged stork. Jay Bruce grounds out number 2 for Braden Looper. So 3 early ground ball outs for Braden Looper here to start.
Yeah, which means he's getting on top of that fastball. When he doesn't get on top, he kind of rushes his delivery, his arm drags, and everything up in the strike zone. That's what happened to him in Minnesota and his last start at Cincinnati. Everything straightens out and stays up in the zone. That's not a stork.
But sometimes pigeons like to get on one leg too. See? One at a time. Only the smartest pigeons hang around the ballpark, by the way.
He's stuck now. The roof's closed. No exit. There he is. He is outside.
So you wonder what our great camera operators do while they're presenting these great shots. It appears that Jesse has found a friend out there. Nicely done. Just plug it along just like we are. Well, Lance Nix has played his way into regular playing time with the Reds. Had a good spring for him. The former Brewer who was let go by Milwaukee has found a home in Cincinnati. Got off to a great start. Matter of fact, he was one of Dusty Baker's best and most reliable, productive pinch hitters to start the year. He's swung the bat so well. Dusty said, I got to give this guy a chance to play.
And he's finally healthy.
Something he never could quite be with the Milwaukee Brewers. He had his chance when Mike Cameron was on the suspended list to start the 07 season, but injured himself, and he and Tony Gwynn came up with some injuries, as a matter of fact. And Nix is healthy and playing well. He put up big numbers when he was in Texas. Looper strikes him out. 3 up, 3 down. Reds go in order. Brewers coming to bat.
Day, Helio Castroneves became the first foreign-born racer to win the Indianapolis 500 for the third time in his career, and I'm pleased to be joined by him right now. First off, congratulations. That must be a great honor for you.
Oh, it's an unbelievable. I mean, to be selected and part of this incredible elite of drivers. So it's just a bit. And today I got even my shirt here. If you check it out, and they didn't spell wrong. That's awesome, man. But I tell you, it was unbelievable. Great day. Now we're here to Milwaukee on Sunday, Milwaukee Mile. It's changing from 2.5 miles to 1 mile, so it's going to be a lot of fun Sunday, hopefully.
Well, I mean, you have a great track record, but you got the moves on the track. Got to ask, Dancing with the Stars, you had the moves off the track as well. How was that experience for you?
When you have a beautiful lady, you know, helping you out, man, it turns out to be much more easy. But it was a lot of hard work. But I had a lot of fun. I'm sure you got some moves. Come on, you can show some moves over there.
Hey, I don't have them like you. I saw what you got, but hey, you've been a great luck charm for the Brewers, and hopefully they can keep the runs going, and good luck with you on Sunday.
Right. We just saw a home run that was incredible. So hopefully, as you said, we're going to have good luck tonight, and I'm going to have good luck on Sunday.
All right, thanks for your time. Enjoy the game.
Thank you very much.
All right, Brian, let's send it back up to you.
All right, thanks a lot. What a great personality Helio Castroneves is.
Yeah.
He is something else. Brightens up the room wherever he is.
Loves life.
The Indy 500 champion is open wheel racing. Resumes in Milwaukee this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend for sports of all kinds here in Milwaukee. Got some changes to tell you about. The Cincinnati Reds have removed Joey Votto from the game. Hannigan is in the game catching. And Ramon Hernandez goes from behind the plate to first base. So Votto obviously still having some difficulties.
Yeah.
We'll get an official update from the Reds when they make it available. As Gamble gets out in front of one.
It's been a tough stretch for Votto. I tell you. I mean, one of the best. We've talked about it, but not able to stay in the lineup very much. Not lately, anyway.
An inner ear infection for Votto has been the cause of much of his missed action, but no official word yet on why he's removed tonight. So Gamble hanging tough against Johnny Cueto, the lead man up for the Brew Crew in the second inning. Our Firestone leaderboard up above. Johnny Cueto giving up very few hits this year. He is currently 6th in the league in opponent's batting average at .216, but he walks Matt Gamble's second walk in his many innings for the Brewers. And a leadoff runner aboard for Milwaukee.
Yeah, 48 strikeouts in a little over 61 innings of work, including tonight. And before tonight, only 16 walks. He's already walked 2. You just see he's got such a live arm. It's an effortless delivery. And having a tough time finding his zone.
So here's Corey Hart. Hart at .243 on the year, with 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in. And Ken Maka used the final game of the series against the Cardinals to give Corey a little rest and then take advantage of the off day as well. A couple of days on what Maka likes to call a mental break, and he's used that with a few players already this year. You never really heard that much.
No.
He's taking a couple of days for a mental break. I don't know how much players like hearing that, but that's what he goes with.
You know what they used to call that? A benching. It's a little softer, kinder world we live in these days.
I'm going to set him on the bench, let him think about it for 2 days. Actually, Ken Maka, he liked the way Corey was going at it in his final game before his mental break. Then he got a hit in his final at bat. He goes, that's good. Now he'll have a hit to think about for his 2-day mental break, and he'll come back and be in the lineup on Friday.
I'll tell you what, I had a ton of mental breaks in my career.
You had a fresh mind out there.
I'll tell you what, I felt good. I felt good every day.
So you never had a manager come by and say, how you feeling today, Rock?
Never.
Because they knew.
Yeah, always good.
Feeling great.
Can I play? No.
And Hart flies one into center field. Taveras will run it down for out number 1.
Hey, Wisconsin, let Applebee's take you out to a game this year until June 13th. Buy a select entree and get a voucher for a free Brewers ticket. Satisfy your hunger and your appetite for baseball only at Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood.
Yeah, that's an interesting lid there. I haven't seen that one before. The Miller Park head.
What about that one there? You like that one?
I like that one. And the M's, you know, the M's show up nicely. They've got their Fox Sports Wisconsin gear. They're doing a good job. They have guaranteed themselves time on television tonight with that getup.
I like that one where the guy has the arms wrapped around his neck. That was a good one.
Jason Kendall for the Brewers here with one away. He's not wearing eye makeup. He actually has a black eye. And it came from his 3-year-old niece. Playing a little baseball, little wiffle ball in the backyard yesterday on the off day, and his 3-year-old niece whacked him with an aluminum bat.
That's why he hates off days.
He doesn't get hurt when he plays.
No.
He only gets hurt on off days.
Yeah.
Right?
Boy, yeah. Smoked him right in the eye. He was lucky. I mean,
he said it looks worse than it feels, and there's no issues with his vision whatsoever. But it doesn't mean he didn't take a fair amount of ribbing today in the clubhouse. Kendall with one away. Gamble over at first.
And you know he wants to play today because he has had some pretty good numbers against Cueto in his career.
Kendall's 4 for 7 against Cueto. As he catches the corner with that pitch, 3-1. You know, his black eye kind of fits. You know what I mean? It looks like it belongs on Jason Kendall.
Yeah.
Some guys it might stand out.
As opposed to maybe Ryan.
Exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't imagine Ryan Braun with a black eye. Kendall draws the walk. So the one area that has lacked a little bit during this brief slide by the Brewers has shown itself again tonight. 3 walks already in the first 2 innings against Cueto.
It's kind of one of those things. I mean, what comes first? Seeing the baseball, drawing the walks, getting hits when you're struggling at the plate. Toughest thing to do, you know, is to wait back. You know, let the ball get to you. We talked about that when you discuss going to the opposite field. It's the same theory. Team's not scoring runs. Individuals really aren't swinging the bats all that well. The tendency is you jump at the baseball, and because of that, you swing at pitches out of the strike zone. When you're hitting, you're also drawing walks.
So Dusty Baker, a quick trip to the mound for Johnny Cueto, and now he'll face the pitcher Braden Looper here with 2 on and 1 out, and a likely bunting situation here for Braden Looper. Looper has 4 sacrifice bunts this year. That leads the ball club. And he pulls it back, takes a rip at it. The old Butcher Boy play.
Well, Ramon Hernandez, I think his heart skipped a beat right there. He's about 45 feet away. Pulls it back, trying to slap it on the ground to the opposite field. He was right on top of Looper when he drew that bat back.
Well, both the corner infielders crashing in. Looper bunts it foul. And it's 0-2. Now, you don't mind taking that chance when the corner infielders are coming in like Hernandez and Rosales were. I mean, that's pretty much Looper's call. And you know, they're halfway in there. It's tough to put a bunt in the right spot to advance the runners when the infielders are that close to you.
Yeah, really your only chance is to bunt it toward third base.
Looper gets this one down, a beauty. Rosales only play to first. Nicely done with 2 strikes. Sacrifice bunt number 5 for Braden Looper. And the Brewers have 2 in scoring position now with 2 outs.
Yeah, get that bat out in front. You pointed about the right center, the end of the bat. Don't have to be perfect. You want to make the third baseman vacate the bag so that there's no play on the lead runner. Well done by Looper.
Well, that high pitch can be one of the toughest to bunt at times. Looper stayed on top of it, and now Counsell a chance to drive in a pair. 2-0 Brewers on the Fielder first inning home run. Matt Gamble started the inning with a walk. Kendall walked with 1 out. The Brewers have only 1 hit thus far, but they made it count when Prince hit one into the second deck in right field. 2-0.
And I really doubt they want to pitch around Counsell to get to J.J. Hardy, who's been swinging the bat pretty well last couple of games. 2-0. They threw a 1-ball no strike slider to Craig Counsell.
Counsell has been terrific this year in this kind of situation, with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Counsell is 4 for 11 this year.
Not because he's not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark, just hitting it where it's pitched, getting on top of it.
2 balls and a strike. Inside, ball 3. And now Counsell in the driver's seat. Dusty Baker, a concerned look with his young right-hander.
It doesn't look like they really want to pitch to Craig Counsell here. I mean, a 2-0 slider, and then on a 2-1 count, they threw one up and in.
5 of his 7 RBIs have come with 2 outs. Counsell takes a strike. Big pitch early for Johnny Cueto. 2 on, 2 out, and Counsell takes ball 4. The 3rd walk in the inning, and the 4th walk overall for Johnny Cueto. And that will indeed get Hardy to the plate with the bases loaded.
And the 3-2 slider. I don't get it. I mean, the pitch before that was a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. That was the hardest pitch he's thrown tonight. Then he goes with the slider. I don't think Dick Pohl understands that pitch.
Cueto with command issues, and we'll see if Hardy can cash it in here in the second inning. Bases loaded, 2 gone, and that one way out of the strike zone. Looked like Cueto was trying to throw that one through the backstop.
Yeah, 95 that time. This is what Cueto did last year when he struggled. When he got in trouble, he tried to throw too hard. Couldn't find the strike zone.
Hardy lined out his last time up. Just on top of that one. Ball to strike. JJ coming off a 3-hit game, and finds himself in a good spot in the batting order in front of Braun here tonight. Hardy's used to this spot in the batting order. This is where he spent most of his time a season ago. Bases loaded, all on walks. Gamble, Kendall, and Counsell. Hardy had a good cut, and it's 2-2. So JJ's batting average to start the day, 247, mostly because of that work in the last 5 games, hitting over 400. Does have 2 grand slams in his career. One thing he's been doing well is driving the ball into the opposite field. 2-2. And Hardy bounces one over the head of Cueto. Hairston coming in. On the side retired. Cueto strands the bases loaded, but already with 49 pitches through 2 innings. Wisconsin is presented by Blaine's Farm and Fleet. You'll always find value at your local Farm and Fleet. By Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig and save. And by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin. Beautiful Miller Park on a Friday night. Braden Looper back on the mound. He has faced the minimum thus far. He's given up just the one hit, but that base runner was wiped out on a Kendall caught stealing. And the bottom of the order coming up, Alex Gonzalez leads off. He'll be followed by Adam Rosales and then Johnny Cueto. 2-0 Brewers on a Fielder 2-run homer in the first. The Brewers stranding bases loaded last inning. But Johnny Cueto's pitch count is up there pretty steep right now. 49 pitches through the first 2 innings.
Yeah, he's had to work hard for every one of his outs tonight. Braden Looper, on the other hand, seems to have pretty good command of that fastball that Ken Maka was speaking of on our scouting report. Staying on top, getting good sink, getting his ground ball outs.
And he went. Fielding Cobrith rings him up, so back-to-back strikeouts for Braden Looper. And the first out here in the third inning.
Yeah, the split-fingered fastball by Braden Looper. He gets ahead with 2 strikes, and that's a tough pitch to lay off of. Tough to identify out of a pitcher's hand, that split-fingered fastball.
Well, Cincinnati certainly a ball club that Looper is familiar with. He's been in the National League Central for the last 4 years. Rosales pops it up, playable for Prince. One pitch to Rosales, and it's out number 2. And that leads us to our carsoup.com email the booth question. Creighton Rudolph from West Allis wants to know, Bill, when you were a kid, did you ever go out in the backyard? No. Who were the baseball heroes you looked up to?
Well, being a kid from New Jersey, I was a Met fan back in the day. I enjoyed watching the Mets, and Jerry Grody was the guy that I kind of focused in on. Catcher.
San Antonio, Texas native.
I should have known. I was a Texas guy through and through. It was funny. It was Jerry Grody. Ray Fosse was a big hero of mine. I've mentioned that to Ray when we've seen him before. And, of course, Johnny Bench.
Very well. It's on the record now. 3 up, 3 down again for Looper. He's sharp early. And the big man's coming.
favorite Brewers to the 2009 All-Star team this year. Vote early, vote often, and vote Brewers now through July 2nd at Brewers.com.
Well, the Brewers fans certainly made their votes count last year, voting Ryan Braun a top outfield vote getter a season ago. And the Brewers will be well represented this year. So keep on voting. Still got a lot of time before the All-Star game.
It's going to be here before you know it. It's already almost June.
Almost June.
Can't believe it.
First 2 months almost in the books. Brewers at 27-20 to start the year, 7 games over. As Braun drives one into center field, back is Taveras, and he's got it for the out. Braun hit it well, but Taveras runs it down. Here comes Prince Fielder, our Taco Bell Who's Hot. How about the May that Prince Fielder has put together? He's got a chance at Player of the Month honors, perhaps. A .303 average, hit his 8th home run back in the first inning, and now 28 runs batted in for him.
All that damage, and they haven't been pitching to him much. Doing a lot of walks. But when he gets his pitch, he's been making it count.
Well, Fielder last year walked only 84 times. This year already, Prince with 38 walks, second only to Adam Dunn. He's just one shy of that mark. Lance Nix under it, and it's out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for Johnny Cueto. Our U.S. Cellular text to vote question of the night: the Reds, are they contenders or pretenders? That's what we pose to you. Text W for contenders, X for pretenders. That's 234-234. That's the short code. W or X. Reds have not had a winning season in 8 long seasons. Storied franchise that is used to winning, and this current ball club has Cincinnati thinking about 1999, their last winning season, and thinking about 1990 when they won the World Series.
One thing they do have that they haven't had a whole lot of, in that 8-year stretch, is good pitching, particularly bullpen with Cordero. They've got good setup guys. Weathers and Arthur Rhodes. Their starting rotation's very good. Currently 5th in the National League in earned run average. So by looking at good pitching, you got to believe they're going to stick around, barring injury, of course.
Well, Bronson Arroyo is coming off a complete game in his last start. He's pitching well despite a rough outing against the Brewers his last time out.
Now, we're not supposed to talk about those, right? Are we supposed to convince people how to vote?
Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe we should just let it go.
Let it go, and then we'll back it up with numbers.
Every time we get a question, I feel like I need to answer it.
We just let it stand on its own legs, you're saying.
I guess what I should wait for is to say Bill and then the question.
That's right. In your backyard. Well, Cueto pitched off a big hook last inning. Brewers had the bases loaded. And now Johnny Cueto, a 3-up, 3-down inning. 2-0 Crew. We head to the walks here at Miller Park. The Brewers and the Reds. It was Fielder with a 2-run home run with 2 outs in the first inning. Meanwhile, Braden Looper pitching a beauty. Johnny Cueto has settled down since his 3-walk second inning. An inning in which the Brewers were unable to score a run. Cueto has retired 4 straight since. 2-0 Milwaukee as we head to the 4th inning. And Looper will face the top of the order. Willie Taveras, Jerry Hairston, and then Ryan Hannigan. Joey Votto is out of this game. Votto batted in the first inning, but was unable to take the field with Cincinnati. So we can only assume that it goes back to his inner ear infection, but we have not heard official word just yet. It's been a situation Votto has been dealing with at great length here the last 2 weeks. And it's been tough on the Reds, Rock, because they have 2 players in Brandon Phillips and Joey Votto who are questionable on a daily basis, but not to the point where you need to put them on the disabled list.
Yeah, but they're still winning. I mean, the Reds have done a pretty good job filling the void with those 2 guys, and it's not going to last forever. I mean, sooner or later that stuff's going to catch up to you. You know, you got a short bench. You know, right now the Reds, you know, assuming Brandon Phillips cannot play, they've only got 3 guys on their bench. It kind of limits your offense as to what you can do. Maybe you might not be able to pinch hit for your pitcher when you'd like. Might not get a pinch runner. I mean, it kind of limits Dusty Baker as to what he can do as the game goes on.
Dusty Baker, 3 times the manager of the year in the National League. Former skipper in San Francisco and Chicago. Took a year off to do television, and now his 2nd year in Cincinnati. Hardy runs it down and a gun to first base. That was a good play. Makes it look easy, but the speedy Taveras changes the dynamic of that play, and 1 out here in the 4th. And our Aflac trivia tonight: who holds the Brewers record for the most consecutive saves to start a season? Good question. You know the answer?
Not for sure. I think I might have a guess.
Well, Trevor Hoffman is 11 for 11 to start this season. Fielder, he's got room. I think he caught it off his chest. And it's out number 2. Fielder went right to the rail. Nice play by Prince Fielder.
Man, that's what you have to do. You got to get to the barrier, make the adjustment from there. He did get it in the glove, but it rolled up on the chest, and that counts.
Oh, nice angle.
Good job by Woody. Is that Woody down there?
That is the venerable Keith Wood.
Never misses a shot.
Nothing better than the nostril shot, is there, Woody? One of the best. Kenny Rogers himself, ladies and gentlemen.
Risking bodily harm down there in first base.
So here's Hannigan, his first at bat. Votto popped up to end the first inning, and then the move was made the next inning. Hannigan came in to catch, and they moved Hernandez out to first in Votto's spot. So not only is there no Joey Votto, there's a big hole in the 3 spot in their lineup when you lose a .360 batting average and 8 home runs and 33 RBIs.
Yeah, right now a makeshift 3 and 4 positions in that batting order with Brandon Phillips out.
They'll ask if he went. No, he didn't, says Gary Cederstrom, able to check his swing. Three balls and a strike on Hannigan. That one's on the corner. When Hannigan has played, he has swung the bat well this year. He's hitting .328. 19 hits and just 58 at bats this season. Hernandez does most of the catching, but since Votto has been down, Hannigan's seen a lot more playing time and draws the walk here with 2 outs. First walk allowed by Braden Looper.
There have been a lot of guys trying to fill the void over there at first base with Joey Votto in and out of the lineup. And Hernandez, does an admirable job over there. He's been swinging the bat. So when Hernandez moves to first, it's Hannigan that gets the opportunities. Only 58 at bat so far this year. But he can catch. Very good defensively.
So 2 gone, and here is Hernandez in the cleanup spot here tonight. Looper missing, but not by much.
Yeah, Looper upset with himself for walking Hannigan. I mean, last thing you want to do is walk him and then get to 4 and 5 in the order.
And that one's launched deep left field. Braun running out of room. And that one's gone. And just like that, a 2-run home run for Cincinnati as Ramon Hernandez ties it up with 1 swing of the bat. Only his 3rd home run of the year. The 2-out walk followed by the 2-run homer. And we're tied.
The first walk issued by Looper ends up coming around to score. 2 outs, nobody on. A pitch down and in, and Hernandez golfs it on out of here. Ordinarily down and in, not a bad spot. Particularly to a right-handed hitter. They usually like the ball up in the zone.
So the Reds right back in it with a long ball here in the 4th inning. Second hit allowed by Looper, and the first run's across. And here's Jay Bruce jumping on the first pitch.
Only the 3rd home run hit by Hernandez this year. So he doesn't hit many. That was a big one.
In there. 0-2 the count on Bruce. Now for Cincinnati, in the first 2 innings, they are the 2nd worst in all of baseball. But they do their damage from the 3rd inning on. You start to get to the 2nd time through the lineup. So if you go by these statistics, you say it's a team that makes adjustments.
Right.
And it helps when you have a pitching staff that keeps you in games on most nights.
Plus, third inning is ordinarily when the top of the order starts coming around again, unless you just don't have anything going whatsoever.
Bruce, a bouncer to Prince. He'll flip it to Looper, and it's in time for the out. The inning is over, but the Reds strike. Ramon Hernandez, a 2-run home run, and we're all even at
the crew and the community. Help raise money for your favorite Brewers players charities during Brewers Charities bobblehead raffles presented by Fox Sports Wisconsin. Sunday is Trevor Hoffman's bobblehead day. Visit the Brewers Charities /Trevor Hoffman raffle ticket anytime through the fourth inning, and with every $5 donation, a lucky fan will have the chance to take home unique prizes. All proceeds will be donated to the Trevor Hoffman Scholarship Fund. Visit brewers.com/bobble raffle, guys.
All right, Telly, thanks a lot. Looking forward to that Sunday. Expecting huge crowds all weekend here for this series against the Reds. Sellout tonight, expecting more of the same tomorrow. And you know Sunday will be a sellout. Always great to see the big crowds here at Miller Park. Milwaukee dropping a series to the Cardinals to start this homestand, losing 2 out of 3. Gamble sends one over to Hernandez, and it's out number 1. Affleck trivia tonight, who holds the Brewers record for most consecutive saves to start a season. Affleck! And with Trevor Hoffman sitting at 11 for 11, you got to go back to the 07 season. Francisco Cordero, 22 in a row to start the year, and he is back to his old tricks this year. Cordero is a perfect 13 for 13. And it doesn't need to be told that you do not want to be behind the Cincinnati ball club going into the 7th, 8th, or 9th innings.
Yeah, they've got a pretty good back end of their bullpen. They really do.
The Reds have not lost this year when they have the lead after 7. 21-0. And Cordero's a big reason for that. They've gotten terrific pitching from Arthur Rhodes. And David Weathers, one of the stingiest late inning bullpens in all of the National League.
David Weathers might pitch till he's 50 years old.
Might as well, right?
I mean, he just keeps getting better. I mean, he's been throwing the baseball very well.
Corey Hart down on strikes. Number 3 for Cueto, and all of a sudden, Rock, since he walked the bases loaded in the second, he's retired 6 in a row.
Well, we talked about that slider and how good that pitch is. Kind of a backup slider that time. Not exactly where he wanted it, but ended up middle in. Fooled Corey Hart. It's basically been fastball slider by Cueto tonight. He does have a changeup that he used a little bit more last year. He doesn't use it as much this year. And when he uses it, ordinarily it's going to be to a lefty. So Prince Fielder and Matt Gamble having a discussion on the bench. The leadership qualities of Prince. Maybe giving him an idea of what to look for up there. Left-handed hitter to left-handed hitter.
Kendall walked back in the second inning. Cueto, who is at 49 pitches through the first 2 innings, has only required 20 in the last 2 at this point. And that one's a strike, a slider that's in there. 2-2 to count.
Yeah, those conversations in those dugouts, they take place quite a bit, but you never see a left-handed hitter ask a right-handed hitter what he's looking for up there, because it doesn't really apply.
Lazy fly ball to right. Jay Bruce has it, and another 3 up, 3 down inning for Cueto, who appears to be dialed in right now. Night, and we're all tied at 2 as we head to the 5th inning. A couple of home run balls tonight. Prince Fielder with a 2-run shot in the 1st, and Ramon Hernandez a 2-run homer last inning in the 4th. Now, earlier today, a presentation at the mound to recognize and prepare for the PGA Championship that'll happen in Whistling Straits. And there's Joe Steranka, PGA of America's CEO. He's got a good gun, nice going, and Joe joins us here in the booth. Great to see you, my friend.
Brian, you're much too kind. You know, I do have a bit of experience on that ball. I did had a little one hop there at the plate, but
it's okay. Scuffed it up.
The catcher.
You shouldn't have said that. We couldn't see.
Yeah, that's true. But hey,
strike.
Yeah, as you know, in golf, we're all about the integrity of the game.
Honesty compels you.
It does.
Joe is one of the best guys, not only in golf, but in sports. And I had a chance to get to know Joe over the years. Did a lot of events with Joe, the PGA of America, when I was with the Golf Channel. And I'm so glad to see you here in Milwaukee. And I'm really excited about the opportunity to talk about the PGA Championship coming to Whistling Straits.
You know, we had a great morning this morning. Pete Dye and Herb Kohler. I felt like I was a referee in a world championship table tennis match between these two guys. And I've got a chance to play the Straits course, which every time I'm back here, you see that this is really one of the gems in the world of golf. I spoke this morning with Peter Dawson, who runs the Royal and Ancient and is preparing for the British Open, and Sandy Jones, my counterpart from across the pond, and they see, they know about Whistling Straits. They know, just how great a destination it is. And Milwaukee has great golf fans as well as general sports fans. I can tell you, it's exciting to see this full house for the Brewers.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can bet the PGA Championship will be well attended. You see on the bottom of your screen there how to prepare for that, log on to that. I don't know how it relates to our schedule, Rock, but I'd love to take you out to a major championship.
I asked the officials from the Brewers. They said you're going to get your schedule in September, so hopefully that'll work out. But yeah, we've got a whole range of tickets that are available. If you go to PGA2010.com, you're going to see an opportunity for kids to come in free. You know, it's part of what the PGA of America and our members of the Wisconsin PGA do here in this community. They run the first tee. They also are involved in a host of junior programs. We're all about introducing young people to the game, and kids can come in free at the PGA Championship. We're proud of that.
I remember Milwaukee, the GMO at the time. Tiger Woods' first tournament.
You know, you look back at that and how who could have imagined that we would be in this golden era that we're in right now? You know, we've seen it in baseball, but in golf, to look at the Bobby Jones era or the Hogan era or the Nicklaus era, you know, that's what we're watching. We're watching a maestro when it comes. Somebody will be looking back at decades from now saying, hey, I remember that kid, whether it's in the GMO or if he makes some history at Whistling Straits.
And what's great about a major championship, barring injury, Tiger's going to be there.
You know,
there's no commitment issues with Tiger.
We year in, year out, we have more of the top 100 players than anybody in the world. So in 95 of the top 100 last year, we had also, you know, the most international players. We had 64 players from 22 countries. So it's the Olympics. It's the Super Bowl. It's the World Series, all kind of rolled into one. And Wisconsin, think about the events, the championship golf events that are coming to the state over the next few years. It's really extraordinary and a testament to how good these fans are.
Well, just great golf here in the Midwest for sure. And not only to bring a major to Whistling Straits, because you've already done that, and you've had a senior major championship there, and it's a great venue, but to come back says a lot about the venue itself and the area itself.
Well, think about it. The PGA, never before in our history did we award 3 championships this far out. 2010 PGA, 2015 PGA, 2020 Ryder Cup. It speaks to the quality of that course. You want a great venue to test the world's great players. You need a great organization like the gentleman standing behind us, Herb Kohler, and all the things that he leads for Kohler Company and their hospitality division. And you like to have the great fan support and corporate support, and we have that here.
Joe Steranka is with us, CEO of the PGA of America. Puts on all the great championships, the PGA Championship, the Ryder Cup as well, and the Professionals National Championship, an event that I was lucky enough to cover for so many years. And Joe's a good guy. You'd be happy to know, Joe, that as a professional in your own right, we're getting Rock to the point where he's playing some pretty good golf. He's taken a few lessons from some golf professionals, and we've got him dialed in now. You'd be proud of him.
Yeah, I'm down to about a dozen balls around.
I love the over-under, Rock. You know,
it's a great game.
So what brand of ball do you play?
I don't know. Whatever I find. Whatever I find.
I was going to say we were going to sign him up for a sponsorship because we know sales are going to go up.
Right, yeah.
It's not quite the same as golf on TV, you know, with the corporate sponsorship. Hey, Joe, thanks for being here. We're going to support this major championship as best we can. You know you can count on us, okay?
It's great to be.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Braden Looper is set to lead off as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning, all tied at 2. Good to have Joe Steranka in the booth from the PGA of America. It's certainly an event we want to support. Anytime you get an event of that nature, a major championship here in this area, we are behind it 100%. And Herb Kohler in the booth as well. So we had a good chance to chat between innings. Looper, a little swinging bunt, and it is in time as Hannigan makes a nice play to get out number 1.
Now it's time for tonight's Tavern of the Game winner, and it's the Doghouse Bar in Elroy, Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, the Doghouse gets 40 tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Now that is a good name.
Yeah, you think maybe you can put a good word in for us to make sure that we're home for that?
Yeah, we'll call the commissioner up and get the schedule worked out.
PGA Championship
2010. Maybe you and I could go up there and do a little course maintenance, check it out. You know they have sheep on that golf course.
Is that right?
With bells.
Wow.
They actually wear bells. You know how you say you'll be there with bells on? The sheep have bells on at Whistling Straits. And a smooth segue to our Cabot Woodstains legendary performance. Go back to 1990, the year the Reds won the World Series. Ricky Henderson of the Oakland A's becomes the American League's all-time stolen base king. Rock, you'll remember this. Swiping third against the Toronto Blue Jays, Henderson steals number 893, and that surpassed Ty Cobb's record, and that was the day that Ricky said, Ricky is the greatest of all time.
Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that he set a milestone stolen base in Milwaukee against the Brewers at County Stadium. He could run. I mean, no better base stealer than I ever saw. You know, they talk about Lou Brock. I never had to deal with Lou Brock. Saw him on television, but maybe the best leadoff hitter of all time, Ricky Henderson.
Yeah. Incredible career on base percentage. What was interesting about that date in 1990, later that night, Nolan Ryan threw no hitter number 6, I think.
Right.
So that was quite a day in the history of the game. 2 balls and a strike on Hardy, and a nasty slider from Cueto makes it 2-2. He has not been afraid to throw a slider at any count. Deals Hardy a good 2-2 one right there.
And you know, it really hasn't been a strike all that often. It's so tough to pick up, and he throws it so hard that most of the time it ends up off the plate.
Well, you know, the Brewers kicking themselves a little bit. They had Cueto on the ropes. 2 runs were in the first inning. They had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the second. Cueto got Hardy to ground out to end the inning, and he has not allowed a base runner since. 9 straight retired by Johnny Cueto since he walked Craig Counsell in the second inning to load the bases. Two-two. In the air to right, slicing away from Bruce, and that'll be in the seats. Hardy got pretty good wood on that pitch from Cueto.
Yeah, mid-90s fastball. You don't really have to overswing to get good wood and hit the ball a long way on this guy. The tendency is you want to swing hard. You know, a guy out there throwing hard, you want to swing a little bit harder, and really the theory is you don't have to swing as hard. Just center on it, which is a tough thing to do sometimes, particularly when he's throwing that slider. That slider that time at 90 miles an hour. I mean, that's fast. I mean, most sliders are about 87 to 88. But when you consider he's been throwing a fastball 93 to 95, and then a 90-mile-an-hour slider, that's J.R. Richard territory right there.
That one's in the dirt, and it's 3-2. A 90-mile-an-hour pitch to start with has its own merits, but a 90-mile-an-hour pitch with a wrinkle on it makes it almost impossible to hit if it's well placed. Hardy grounds over to third. Rosales fires one to first in time, and it's another 3-up, 3-down inning, and Cueto has retired 10 straight. Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By Airtran. Go, there's nothing stopping you. And by Aflac. We've got you under our wing. Well, Braden Looper pitching well tonight. Made one mistake back in the 4th inning. It cost him a 2-run home run. And we start this 6th inning. Johnny Cueto on the first pitch trying to bunt his way on, and Looper showing his athleticism. And it turned out to be an easy out once he got to the baseball.
Yeah, tripped over first base. I know Dusty Baker doesn't like to see that. The guy can run a little bit. He's got pretty good speed down the line.
So the rare one unassisted putout. And a quick check on Cueto. Looks like he's all right. 2-2. We're all tied up here in the 6th inning. Looper has retired 5 straight since the 2-run homer by Hernandez. Both of the Reds' runs with that one swing of the bat with 2 outs in the 4th inning. There was a 2-out walk to Ryan Hanigan, and then Hernandez hit a down and in fastball into the Friday's front row grill. Taveras with a bunt. And how about 2 outs? And Braden Looper is the only one playing baseball this half inning.
Millie Tavares, pretty good bunter. He's got tremendous speed, trying to get that ball down the third baseline to force Gamble to make a play. And it just got the bat back into his body a little bit too much and popped it up.
Now all you need is a line drive out back to the pitcher, and you'd have the trifecta. The one unassisted, the F1, and the L1. That's what Satchel Paige used to do, right? Just tell all his fielders to go sit in the dugout. He'd handle it.
Yeah.
With strikeouts and plays on the mound.
I'd rather see the strikeout as opposed to a line drive back at Looper.
I get your point there.
Hey, little humpback liner.
Little broken bat, sawed off glove side liner. Hairston had a long at bat back in the 1st inning. He was down 2 strikes early, just like he is here, and then he fouled off a number of pitches. Ended up being a 9-pitch at bat. He finally singled to right field in the 1st, but then he was thrown out trying to steal. And Looper no worse for the wear. The 1-2. 2-2. Oklahoma native Braden Looper makes his home in Illinois now. And that one's into center field. Easy play for Mike Cameron. And an easy inning for Braden Looper. 3 up and 3 down. That's 7 in a row for Looper.
here at Miller Park. Prince Fielder, a home run in the first inning. It's 2-0 Milwaukee. But then Hernandez in the fourth ties it up. It's a 2-2 ball game, and Cueto allowing just one hit so far against Brewer hitters. That was the Fielder home run. But it is 2-2 as we go to the bottom of the sixth. Davey and Craig back on board with you. Davey, another pitcher's duel. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, once again, in a pitcher's duel, you're going to have to see what team, like the Brewers, if they can get a leadoff hitter on and try to manufacture some runs. But if they can do it now with the top three guys coming up right now.
Well, Braun and Fielder were the responsible two parties to get things going in the first inning. We're also getting set for our post-game show coming up on the instructional. Buzz Williams, Marquette coach, will join Bill and Davey. Looking forward to maybe the bunt shot or maybe the home run dribble. We'll see.
All right, Craig, Davey, looking forward to that. And good to have Buzz Williams in the ballpark as well. We have a star-studded booth here.
Golf,
tonight.
basketball, and baseball.
And auto racing.
Auto racing, yeah.
So
how could I forget about that?
We're all covered. And Craig's right. The two that got it started in the first, Braun and Fielder, to start this inning. Oh, and by the way, there's Drew Olson. Just for an exclamation point.
Fox Sports Wisconsin's own.
The insider, Drew Olson. Drew's got pretty good seats tonight. Who gets to go to games as a fan these days? Seriously. You know, those of us who work for Fox Sports Wisconsin, we're working the games.
Right, yeah. Slacking off.
Hitters count for Braun. 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the sixth inning. And Ryan lines one into left center. That's going to get down and go to the wall. And Braun has extra bases to start the sixth inning. That'll be a leadoff double for Ryan Braun. And the Brewers in business right away here in the sixth.
Yeah, Braun has been on that slider his last couple of times up. I mean, he hit a bullet into center field his last time. That was a slider. Here's a slider right down the middle of the plate at 89 miles an hour. And able to rip it into the gap. Those are the sliders that you have to take advantage of with Cueto. You're not going to hit the good ones that are down and away. When he tries to overthrow it and leaves in the middle part of the plate, you better not miss him.
So the potential go-ahead run at second in scoring position, and here is Fielder. Fielder launched one his last time up back in the first, or his first time up, I should say. Last time up, he flew out to left. I noticed Prince using a new bat here tonight. A little bit of a different look for Fielder. He's been known to go rummaging through others' lockers for bats. He's kind of a feel player, you know what I mean? Whatever feels good in his hands, and that's a little different look.
And that may change day to day. There's nothing wrong with changing bats. You go up there, you might not feel like the bat that you have, you know, doing it for you. Grab it, get in that bat bag, and
that one's in the air to center. It won't carry, but it will be deep enough to get Braun over to third. Tavares guns one into third base, and Braun is there. So a productive out for Fielder. Not exactly what he was looking for, but at the very least, he puts a Brewer at third base with just one out, and now the opportunity of the sacrifice fly.
Well, look, Tavares had a tough time out there on that fly ball. Almost went down, maybe went down on his knee, but Prince just barely missed that one. I think Prince like to have that one again. There he goes, a little bit of a slip. He put the hand down, but still able to make the catch. You don't see a lot of slipping by outfielders these days. Not after they put that new outfield grass in. That used to be a nightly occurrence in this ballpark.
Yeah, that's right. I was watching batting practice earlier today. Jody Garrett slipped and brought up a big divot out there in right field. So maybe the change in the climate having an effect on the grass. We'll have to see about that. Something to keep an eye on as Cameron sends one to left. Braun's going to try to score. Here comes the throw from Nix. One hop, and it is on the money, and Braun is gunned down. Lance Nix A strong throwing arm in left field. And what was a great start to an inning ends in a double play. Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. And by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Tundra Territory at Miller Park. Roof is closed at Miller Park, and a tight one here. A pitcher's duel going on. Ryan Braun just thrown out at the plate by his left field counterpart, Lance Nix. And a leadoff double for the Brewers. Goes for naught. Cameron hit that ball on a line to left. But Nix, normally a center fielder and a very good outfielder, makes a perfect throw into the plate. And the Brewers cut down. Another scoreless inning for Cueto. And now Braden Looper back on the bump facing Ryan Hannigan.
Now the ball really wasn't hit all that deep into left field, but with the way the Brewers have had a tough time scoring runs, you have to take that chance. I mean, a sacrifice fly, you score the run, but a perfect throw by Lance Nix. I mean, he did a nice job of gathering himself and getting his momentum toward home plate and threw a strike. But if you had that to do over again 10 times, you send them all 10 times. Got to do it.
Take a chance with 2 outs. Well, Hannigan has been busy. He did not start this game. He came in the bottom of the first inning. Joey Votto was taken out. Hannigan came in to catch. They bump Hernandez out to first base. And Hannigan has made an impact thus far. It was his walk with 2 outs that set the stage for Ramon Hernandez's home run. The 2-run homer that tied the score. Nothing a manager appreciates more than a bench player prepared to enter a ball game, whether it's by injury or for defensive purposes.
Always have to be ready to play. Well, follow the Brewers on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB At Bat 2009. That features play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. Visit Brewers.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase.
Del Castro, the Brewer pitching coach, on his way to the mound to talk it over with Looper. Looper's only walked 2 batters tonight, but he has walked Ryan Hannigan twice. But Stetter gets loose. Jay Bruce would be next for the Reds. So perhaps Stetter for Bruce and Nix coming up. At least Castro gives him an opportunity to loosen up a little bit.
Well, his pitch count's in pretty good shape. Only 92 pitches so far. That's pretty good as we enter the 7th inning. Been very efficient with his pitches, except for, as you mentioned, for whatever reason, Ryan Hannigan has not been able to throw him strikes.
And Hernandez jumps on the first pitch, playable for Counsell. One away. Well, this will be the decision for Ken Maka now. Does he stick with Looper with a couple of lefties scheduled to hit, and a dangerous lefty at that in Jay Bruce? And this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with Bruce and Votto, because they handle left-handers so well. Sometimes it'll help a manager make a decision whether to stick with a right-handed starter or not.
I don't think Stetter's ready yet. He just got up.
And Bruce gets under one. This is playable. Counsell back there. He'll call for it. And he's got it for out number 2. So how about that? 2 pitches and 2 outs for Braden Looper after a leadoff walk.
Very unusual for Jay Bruce. I mean, to go after the first pitch after the guy in front of him went after the first pitch. And now apparently something going on with Braden Looper. Athletic trainer Dan Wright out there. Here comes Ken Maka. Well, it's been a rough stretch health-wise for the crew.
You could see it in Maka's face when he ran out to the mound, like, here we go again. And he wants to make sure Looper can go.
I don't think he's going to allow him to. We'll see. Well, maybe he is.
I don't think Looper is going to allow him to stand around anymore. Say, get back to the dugout. I'm good. See if we can pick up anything here. I don't see anything there.
No.
Well, Looper shoot him off quickly, which is not easy to do.
And you don't be shooing your manager too often successfully.
It's like getting an umpire to change his call, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's Lance Nix. And he swings at the first pitch. You got to be kidding me. 3 pitches, 3 outs. That couldn't have gone any better for Looper and his manager. We head to the bottom of the 7th, stretch time in Milwaukee. Game summary. First game of the series with the Reds. Fielder got it started quickly. 2-run home run off Cueto with 2 outs in the first inning. But Cincinnati answered in the 4th with a 2-out home run of their own. This time Ramon Hernandez goes deep, and it tied the score. The Brewers had a chance last inning. Cameron with a line drive to left. Lance Nix throws out Ryan Braun, and it would go down as a double play to end the inning. Braden Looper pitching well after a leadoff walk in the 7th. Got the next 3 on 3 pitches. Johnny Cueto, since his early struggles, Rock, where he walked 4 batters in the first 2 innings, has dominated this Brewers lineup at this point. And Matt Gamble swings at the first pitch. And that one will be played by Gonzalez for out number 1.
Boy, 4 pitches and 4 outs. And that Gamble's getting jammed on the first pitch. Just hate to see that. I mean, as a hitter, if you go after that first pitch, you had better hit it right on the barrel somewhere. It's a long walk back to that dugout. And that was a crazy inning for the Reds. I mean, top of the 7th, that just doesn't make any sense. You know, the first guy, the first out, he pops out the second. You figure the next guy's got to take a pitch or two. And then certainly after the next guy makes an out on the first pitch, got to take one. You got to take one. But, you know, Lance Nix goes after the first pitch, pops it up.
So we have now seen, until this Corey Hart at bat, 4 pitches and 4 pop-ups. They don't keep records of such things, but that just doesn't happen very often.
No.
Because somebody at some point is going to take a pitch, and look at Corey Hart deep into left center field. Goodbye! Corey Hart puts the Brewers on top. Number 5 for Corey Hart, his first home run since the 16th of May against the Cardinals, and this one has the Brew Crew on top once again.
Boy, nice short stroke. It was a hanging slider, the same pitch that Brawny hitting the gap for a double. And way back and left.
A tremendous blast from Corey Hart. It's his 19th RBI of the year, his 5th home run. Hart, who has been struggling at the plate, had a couple of days off, took the scheduled off day along with a day off from game activity. And he puts a charge into that one. We mentioned Cueto not allowing a lot of home runs this year. He had only given up 6 until tonight. And 2 tonight by the Brew Crew gives him 8 allowed this season.
Well, something had to give, right? It's a home run hitting ball club for the Brewers, and Cueto didn't give up many, but a nice short stroke by Corey. Well, he stayed on that ball nicely.
Kendall out to Rosales, and it's out number 2.
That's what we're talking about. You got to hit the mistakes, and that was another mistake by Cueto. A cement mixer right down the middle of the plate. Didn't do anything. Didn't move at all until it hit the bat. Hasn't made many mistakes. Right down the middle, just spun up there. A lot of times when a pitcher tries to overthrow it, it doesn't do anything. Man, Corey put his head down and knew it right away.
Well, the pitcher spot coming up here with 2 outs, and Maka makes the call to Jody Garrett. So Braden Looper's night is done, and he is in line for the win here tonight. It would be his 5th win if the Brewer bullpen can hang on. Looper goes 7 innings, allows just 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. And Garrett, little half swing bouncer. Cueto has it, and that's the inning. But Corey Hart delivers a big shot here at Miller Park. A 7th inning home run.
Brewers are leading the bottom of the 7th. A hanging slider. Home run number 5 for Corey. And it was a big one to give Braden Looper a lead.
Powerball home run for Hart, and for the team, 55 on the year. 2 tonight. Fielder hit his 11th back in the first inning. And Hart with his 5th. Representing all 3 of the Brewer runs tonight. 3-2 Milwaukee. They lead Johnny Cueto and the Reds. And it's a former Red, Todd Coffey, who's done some of his best pitching against his old team to work the 8th inning.
And it's always a special thing and special motivation for Coffey against the Cincinnati Reds. Pitched on Wednesday against the Cardinals. Retired all 4 batters that he faced. He struck out a batter.
Billy Hall comes in defensively at third base. And he will come in on the double switch. Gamble the first out in the 7th inning. We say that, but you know, we're not sure it's a double switch. And the first man up, Gonzalez, lines one to center field. So the Reds, just like that, put the tying run aboard to start this 8th inning.
And another first pitch. Unless I missed one.
Well, that was the first pitch. So the last 4 Reds hitters have all swung at the first pitch. But when you get a hit, it's okay.
Yeah, fastball middle in. I mean, if you're going to swing the first pitch, better hit it hard. And Gonzalez bangs it right back through the middle.
Adam Rosales now, the Reds' third baseman. Rosales with a couple of home runs this year. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Rosales getting a chance to play a lot here lately with the injury to Edwin Encarnacion. Encarnacion is another player who is due back soon for Cincinnati. He fractured his left wrist earlier this year. He's in the batting practice portion of his recovery, and they're expecting him back in the coming weeks.
The guy provides a lot of power in this lineup for Cincinnati. They have missed him.
Good slider for a strike. Coffey gets ahead of Rosales. Well, Coffey is a ground ball machine when he's right. And a ground ball here would come in handy if the Brewers could turn a double play. Coffey trying to set it up for Trevor Hoffman in the 9th. Coffey was released by the Reds last year after he was sent down to AAA. The Reds released him on his birthday last year, only to have the Brewers pick him up for the final stretch. And there's a line drive base hit. So back-to-back singles for Cincinnati. 2 on, nobody out. The tying run now in scoring position. And the pitcher spot coming up.
Well, it's supposed to be in. They left it out for Rosales to get the bow head on it and banged it right back through the middle. Almost a ditto of the base hit by Gonzalez.
Well, this will mean the end of the night for Johnny Cueto. Cueto lifted for a pinch hitter. Chris Dickerson, a left-handed bat, is going to come off Dusty Baker's bench. A thin bench right now, to say the least.
Man, you got to believe he's going to be up there to bunt. Pretty good outing for Johnny Cueto.
Cueto goes 7 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs. And he is on the hook for the loss right now. And Dickerson not up there to bunt.
And the reason why you might want to think about a bunt is you avoid the double play. As you mentioned, Todd Coffey gets a lot of ground balls when he's going well. The other thing is you put the go-ahead run at second base, where a base hit will give the Reds a lead.
Dickerson 1 for 7 as a pinch hitter with no sacrifice attempts. And he takes one down and away. 2 balls, no strikes. And some murky waters to start this outing for Todd Coffey. Back-to-back singles, and now behind in the count to Chris Dickerson, as Trevor Hoffman paces out in the bullpen. Two and one.
It's kind of interesting that they're not bunting here, because the Reds lead the National League in dropping down sac bunts. 31 of them. You compare that to the Brewers, they've only dropped down 15 sacrifice bunts this year.
And with so few players on his bench, having already lost Votto and Phillips not available, you know, there was a thought that maybe Cueto would go up there and try to drop a bunt down. The starting pitcher who is familiar doing that. Dusty looking for the knockout punch. And Coffey has it back to even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A couple of good fastballs from Todd Coffey. Arthur Rhodes will be next.
Speaking of good fastballs, and he's still throwing the ball well.
Two on, nobody out. The Brewers defensively set up for a double play ball. And here is a double play ball. Counsell slaps the tag, throws to first in time. What a play! Craig Counsell stayed right with Rosales and had enough body control to make the throw to first. That's a dangerous throw. If it gets away, this game is tied.
Kind of a bad play by Rosales. He ran right into the out. Your job right there is to stop. Do something. Get out of there. Don't let him tag you. He tags him out and able to complete the double play. Our Home Depot doing more on defense. Craig Counsell, a dandy to turn 2.
There's some high risk involved in that one. Counsell makes a terrific play. Not only getting around the base runner, but also had to get around the umpire, who was in his sights for a moment.
And that's exactly why you're kind of surprised that they weren't bunting there. You drop down the bunt at second and third, 1 out. You got the top of the order coming up.
Willie Taveras is 0 for 3 tonight. And a slow roller, and that will roll foul. Thank goodness. That would have been a sure hit for Taveras. No way Hall throws him out if that one stays fair.
No.
Tying run at third for Cincinnati. And Coffey trying to get through this 8th unscathed, after surrendering back-to-back hits to start it. They come to their feet at Miller Park, a sellout tonight. The 0-2 just got a piece.
Not sure if it was by design, but Coffey elevated that fastball to Taveras. Fouled it straight back. He was right on it. One thing you don't want to do here is to hang that slider. You're helping Taveras out by doing that.
Kendall will be on his toes behind the plate. And that one bounces. Taveras did not chase.
That's where you want it.
Well-placed slider from Coffey.
And a pitcher has to know that his catcher is going to block that pitch. He has to throw it there.
Ball and 2 strikes. Cincinnati leadoff hitter at the plate with a tying run at third. On the ground, Hardy gobbles it up. And that's your inning. And Coffey, a couple of pumps of the fist. He gets out of a mess. 2 on to start it. Nobody scores, and the Brewers still on top. 5:30 is airtime tomorrow. Saturday night baseball here at Miller Park, and then Sunday we're on the air at 12:30. Brewers Live kicking off our coverage of this series, and the Brewers trying to get it started on the right foot. And rock our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Corey Hart hits a hanger deep into left center field to put the Brewers on top.
Man, it's got to feel good for Corey. He had been struggling on pitches just like that slider. Fortunately for Corey, that one hung up in the strike zone for him, and he put a nice swing on it.
Arthur Rhodes will take over for Cincinnati here in the 8th inning. Still a hard-throwing left-hander.
Yeah, this guy's been around forever. He's had a tremendous career. Yeah, when you look at bullpens in the National League, you have Arthur Rhodes and David Weathers in the same bullpen. That's a lot of experience, a lot of games. Arthur Rhodes still throws his fastball in the mid-90s.
Talking about 4 decades of experience between Weathers and Rhodes. This is season number 18 in the major leagues for Arthur Rhodes. 39-year-old lefty, and Counsell greets him with a high drive into right center. Bruce with room, and it's one away here in the 8th inning. And that leads us to our Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text question of the night. What kind of training do umpires need to make it to the big leagues? Tyler in Dallas, Wisconsin. You go through umpiring school, and then it's a long trek through the minor leagues, and they are weeded out very quickly down there. So those who make it to the big leagues with that grading system that they have in the minor leagues, I mean, they've certainly earned their place as a major league umpire. And then once they make it to the major leagues, they never leave.
It's a tough road, for the umpires. I mean, you talk about how tough it is for players to get to the major leagues. Doubly tough for umpires because, you think about the minor league situation that they have. They don't have a home base. They're on the road all year, and that's tough.
And unlike major league umpires who get days off occasionally, minor league umpires do not. As Hardy sends one down the line, Bruce has it for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for Arthur Rhodes. And here comes Ryan Braun at the plate tonight, presented by Wendy's. Braun doubled back in the 6th inning. His walk led to Fielder's 2-run homer in the 1st. So Ryan is 1 for 2 tonight. And the only time he was retired was a line drive out to center field. Will Hart's home run be the difference? Braun facing a lefty for the first time tonight. He's had a lot of success against southpaws this year. A .484 batting average against left-handed pitching this season. That includes 3 of his 8 home runs.
Yeah, Brony coming in against left-handers. 15 for 31. 3 home runs and only 31 at-bats and 9 RBIs.
It's been a long home run drought for Ryan Braun. It's been 20 days. Not something he is accustomed to. That one catches the corner. Ball and 2 strikes. Braun disagreed.
Arthur Rhodes with that bit of a herky-jerky delivery, kind of a slight pause, and then that ball just comes quickly out of his hand. Sneaky fast, they call it. You don't see it very well.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Braun. 2 quick outs for Rhodes here in the 8th. And Ryan chased a breaking ball. So the inning ends and the stage is set. Miller Park ready to erupt. It's Trevor time. He's on for his 12th save of the year. The Brewers they're soaking it all up here at Miller Park. Trevor time and Hell's Bells rings through a sellout crowd of 42,000. See the numbers on Hoffman this year. He is a perfect 11 for 11 in save situations.
And one of the keys to his success, as always, throwing strikes. 10 strikeouts and no walks for Trevor. He's going to have to go through the meat of this Cincinnati order to get save number 12.
At middle of the order, that is without Joey Votto, who was removed from this game in the first inning. And appears that will have Brandon Phillips as he has moved into the on-deck circle. Jerry Hairston will lead off. And then Phillips, followed by Ramon Hernandez. 2, 3, and 4 in the Reds order. Brewers clinging to a 3-2 lead. Hairston is 1 for 3 tonight. Hoffman starts him with a strike. That is the key pitch for Trevor Hoffman, and he'd be the first to tell you. Strike one sets up everything he does on the mound.
Really did a nice job finding the corners and keeping it down.
A little flare and a shallow left center. Cameron runs it down. Out number 1. That was in the air for an eternity, and Cameron, who was shaded into right center, uses his great speed to make out number 1. And here comes Brandon Phillips and his return to the Reds lineup. Phillips has been out with a fracture in his right thumb. Instead of going on the disabled list, it was diagnosed as a hairline fracture that would heal. And Phillips finally ready to swing the bat. What a spot he steps into. And Phillips drops a bunt down. Hoffman. Perfect. 2 up and 2 down. And that says a lot about where Brandon Phillips is in his recovery.
I don't get that. Ryan Hannigan was on base twice in his first 2 at bats, and albeit walks. A couple of crazy things going on here with the Reds.
Well, remember, Cincinnati had 2 on last inning in a spot for a pinch hitter to drop a bunt down.
Didn't do it.
That might have been a good spot for it.
Rolled into a double play and helped Coffey get out of that inning.
2 up and 2 down. And it's Ramon Hernandez, whose long ball back in the 4th tied the game. Change up for a strike. (3-2) Milwaukee in the 9th. Hoffman trying to save his 12th. 0-2 the count on Hernandez. Hoffman has thrown 5 pitches in this inning. And they are ready to rock here at Miller Park. Base hit. Over to cut it off is Hart. So the Reds keep it going here. And a single for Ramon Hernandez, who has a 2-hit game.
Yeah, last thing you wanted to see is this guy coming to the plate representing the go-ahead run. That's a good at-bat by Hernandez. Wow. Took a fastball away. They elected to go fastball instead of changeup. Good piece of hitting by Hernandez, taking it right down the right field line.
That has been a pitch for Hoffman that has gotten him a number of strikeouts looking lately. Now it's Jay Bruce. Well, we hit the air tonight talking about Votto and Bruce, the 2 guys that you can't let beat you. But Hoffman will go right after him here with 2 outs. Might have pulled 2 strings on him that time. What a changeup from Hoffman.
Yeah, 73 miles an hour.
The 41-year-old Hoffman against the 22-year-old Bruce. The 1-1. Another one. Ball and 2 strikes on Jay Bruce. Trevor Hoffman does it again, number 12. And the Brewers win a thriller tonight in front of a